Hey everybody, welcome to NCR Friday Night with Bodycams with me and Bird Dog. This is something new for the channel. I know you guys like it when we do cover body cam stuff, so I figured let's get a real world expert who has been in law enforcement, who can explain what we're seeing and answer any questions that I can't answer because I'm not law enforcement, even though some of the frauders supporters believe I am. I'd like to introduce Bird Dog. Bird Dog, please say hello.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Uh, well, Bird Dog, let's go with something easy. How long were you in law enforcement? And let's start with that.
Yeah, sure, not a problem. I'm going to tell you, I'm old. so, I first got hired by one of the largest law enforcement agencies in the country back in 1998. I'm sorry, 1988. See, I already got dementia. 1988 is when I started in law enforcement with, again, one of the largest agencies in the country. Worked there for a few years. And then I didn't think that was the right environment for me professionally. So I moved to a fairly small department in the kind of mid 80s in the number of officers. So not incredibly tiny, but not large.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very different kind of law enforcement experience when you work for a city roughly that size. With the larger agency, you are the initial handle, and you've got specialty assignments, of course, and a great variety of specialty assignments. But you make the initial contact, you do the initial paper. Your reports tend to be a bit briefer, and it moves on to someone else. It's a big assembly line. When you work for a smaller agency, you're kind of a jack of all trades. So I left the big department, went to the smaller agency. It was an interesting town. It had a major freeway running through it, actually a couple of freeways. On one side of town, it was kind of middle-income people to very wealthy people.
Right.
On the other end of town, it was mostly people who were undocumented.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a real mix, very odd for a town that size. And there, you're the handling officer. You oftentimes do at least the initial investigation work before it ever goes to detectives. You do basic forensics. So there's not a CSI van that shows up. You're the CSI person, at least initially, unless it's a homicide or something like that. So it gives you a well-rounded kind of background. So all in all, if you put it all together, I was officially in law enforcement for 17 years. Now, I went on to do something completely different after that period of time. In fact, I started my own business. Whenever you hear someone say they were in law enforcement for 17, 18 years, those that aren't in the business, they're kind of, their ears perk up. It's like, well, why didn't you do 20 or 25? 17 is an odd number. Did you get fired? What happened? Did you get injured and get a medical retirement? Something like that. Nothing like that happened. I was tired of working graveyard shift and weekends and Christmases, and I started my own business and just couldn't keep doing it. So I left law enforcement in 2007. So like I said, it was 17 years. During that course of time, I worked custody, which is the jail.
Mm-hmm.
Did that. I rubbed elbows with some of the most vile people you'd ever imagine, up into including at least one serial killer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had some personal contact with him. And then did some court work, bailiff stuff. Now, you see the bailiff in the courtroom, you say, oh, that's pretty cake. Just stand there, say hi to people, check off the box. And that's true. That is pretty cake. But there's a lot of things going on in the background behind the wall, where you don't see all the prisoners coming over from the county jail. And that's who I had to deal with most of the time, was in the court lockup, which is in the back. And I will tell you that people, this is back in the, have you ever seen the movie Colors?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, this is back when Colors came out, right? And
Right.
Gang activity was at a premium. So you get guys convicted of a drive-by shooting and maybe 7 homicides. Well, I could assure you that when they come into court lockup, they're none too happy after being found guilty of 7 homicides. So spitting or kicking an officer is not a big deal. What do you think about it? I'm going to add charge you with assault on a peace officer after you got convicted of 7 homicides? Yeah.
What's another, 6 months to a year to them when they're looking at life?
Yeah, and they already run it concurrent anyway. Half the time, even in lesser charges, they won't run multiple charges consecutively. They'll run them concurrently. So let's say you've got, I'm getting off topic a little bit, but let's say you do a burglary and you've got drugs and maybe a couple other crimes. They won't have you do X amount of time for the burglary, X amount of time for the drugs. They'll just do it all at one time and roll it all together and say, do a year.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and typically you don't even, a burglary, you're not going to do a year anyway. You're probably going to do like 2 months. But anyway, so I did it for 17 years with the smaller agency and with the larger agency. Did custody, courts, patrol, obviously, community resources. And when you work for a smaller department, I was considered one of the nice guys, so I got community resources because I didn't use profanity. So you could go talk to the public during the day, kind of a thing. So worked in the schools, that sort of thing, the nice stuff. But worked graveyards a lot. That was back when we were tracking Colombians before the Mexican drug cartels. So I did some Colombian drug activity. Get refocused here. So you get pulled in when you're a small department too. You've got investigations. I did background investigations for personnel, but you have your regular investigation units and whatnot. When you're a smaller department, they oftentimes will pull people from patrol to go assist on like homicides and things because it's all hands on deck. So even though I might be in community resources, they say for the next work, you're working with homicide. You could be serving warrants and search warrants and whatnot for evidence. So it's like I said, it's you kind of become a jack of all trades with a smaller department. So that's a quick snapshot of a 17-year career.
All right. And again, you can help break down some of the questions we'll get, like, why was he pulled over? Why are they doing that technique? Is it appropriate for them to use, taser or go hands-on? Because a lot of times, we see, especially with the frauder channels or the anti-cop channels, such as like We the People University, somebody that me and a good friend of the channel, a good friend in real life, commentator, auditor, covered, where he exploited his career to become an anti-cop person. Not to say that, there aren't good cops and bad cops. Just like people, there's good people, there's bad people.
Yeah, I will certainly never be an apologist for people that are doing the wrong thing in law enforcement. I've seen both in action. And I can tell you that not all law enforcement agencies across this country are created equally. And oftentimes it's you get what you pay for. So where I worked, of course, we had a very high cost of living where I live, so I don't want to get into numbers too much. But they thought we were paid fairly well. We certainly had good benefits. Now, you go to a small department in the rural South, your police officers may be making slightly more than the fast food worker. Well, they're certified statewide, so they could go anywhere. But they work someplace where they're maybe only making, $22 an hour or $19 an hour. You're not getting the highest quality law enforcement there. You're getting, maybe that's the best type of police officer that town can afford. So they're certainly not created equally. And there's some departments, I can tell you there's departments I know that are as squeaky clean as you can imagine. The greatest bunch of people out there because they're held to a very high standard by the chief of police and certainly by the community that they're hired to protect. Now, I actually had this conversation once with our state president of our state police chiefs association. And I'm paraphrasing him, so I'm not going to quote him exactly, but it was something to the effect of, some departments are just dysfunctional and there's nothing you can do to fix them. I would like to think that's not true, but he probably knows better than I. That when you have to clean up a really bad department, it doesn't become bad overnight. And you've got a lot of people in middle management that will still remain there even though you change police chiefs. And that's a problem because you need to clear the whole place out and completely have a change of management and a change of thought process. You need a systems change, just like with any company. And that is challenging in some of these environments. So that's my aside. So like I said, I care about law enforcement greatly. I believe it's got a very sacred duty, but at the same time, I hold it to a fairly high standard. And right. It really bothers me to see because it's when you dedicate your life to something and you see the badge tarnished, it's it's tough because then you're embarrassed to tell people that you used to be in law enforcement. Who's embarrassed to tell? You might read in the paper that a CPA stole $500,000 from their employer, right?
Right.
No one's afraid to tell you that they're a CPA. But when you see in the newspaper that some guy here or some guy there did something wrong, even though there's hundreds of thousands of cops in this country, but you hear about this cop here and that cop there, and people look at you like you're the same as them. And it's not fair, but the world isn't fair. And that's just the way it goes. So I like I said, I hold law enforcement to a very high standard. So if I see something, I'll call it balls and strikes.
There you go. Well, let's start by getting into this first video. But before we do that, I do have some clips for if I get any super chats, guys, or memberships. There are certain clips that I will play. And when it comes to everything that's been happening this week, my mods know I will not tolerate any bullying or harassing of anybody in the side chat. So you guys know what to do with that. And we'll get into our first video now. This is one that's been pretty popular. Moist Criticals covered it. This is the Illinois woman laughing about causing 2 people to lose their life in a DUI. And this one is a big video, so I want to start with this one first. So let me get that pulled up. And as I'm doing that, I want to say hello to Maddie B, Agent of Chaos, Miss Mandy 777, Commentator Auditor, Paracord Princess, and everyone else here watching and lurking. Now, Bird Dog, how much of this do you know about?
I have only seen the header on YouTube. I have not seen the video.
Now, this is the body cam from one of the officers on scene. So let's just jump right into this. I mean, this is something that, you would think they would have more sense than to laugh and worry about their car.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to have you do. If you can maybe help Pyro do CPR on that one right now.
You tell me, I'm right here.
Okay, just hang tight right here. Has anybody gotten all your information?
No one has. Someone, your friend took my license.
Do you have a driver's license?
Your friend took my license.
Okay, I'm just going to write it down here.
Okay.
Just let you know I got body cameras there. Okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
What is your first name?
STEPHANIE.
Middle initial?
I don't have one.
Okay, and last name?
Melgoza, MELGOZA.
Now, you've worked your fair share of DUI cases, right?
I've had more than a few.
Is this standard practice so far?
Yeah, so far. So you saw the body cam when he was first approaching.
You keep going this
vehicle
direction
damage is
or
there.
this direction.
So we know that vehicle's been involved in an accident.
Here's what I'm going to have you do.
He's getting her basic information now. Bear in mind, this body cam is picking up video of her talking, and you can already see her speech is slurred.
Mm-hmm.
So all this is going to be evidence in court. Now, when I was working, we didn't have body cams yet, but at one point we did get dash cams, and we were mic'd up. And I always tried to position my car to face the person I would be talking to, so the camera could pick up their movement. Because it's one thing for me to get in court and say the person was stumbling, their speech was slurred, etc. It's another to be able to show a video and for the jury to be able to see the person slurring their words, unable to stand upright, losing their balance. This is, again, going back to the olden days, right? Where officers had a little more discretion, or at least exercise more discretion. So you might have somebody who was maybe they would just they had a drink. You're thinking, they're not too bad. Maybe I'll call them a taxi, kind of a thing. But when you have somebody that's really trashed, you certainly don't want that person on the road. They're a menace. So here you can already see her speech is slurred. She's moving around a bit like she's dancing to a tune. She's having trouble with being focused. She's looking all around. She's not maintaining eye contact with the officer, even though clearly something very serious has happened. And she's looking all around. She can't maintain focus. So this is all evidence that's going to be used against her in court.
And that brings up something I wanted to ask, because like you said, there's an accident. So could adrenaline be playing a factor while she's looking around? But, the slurred speech, maybe she has a head injury. We don't know. But is there any indicators that we can get from this that would show possible signs of impairment other than the slurred speech and the distraction of looking at the officer?
Well, a good defense attorney will always point out the myriad of things that can mirror other things. So they'll always be quick to point that sort of thing out. And that's possible. There could be disoriented, scared, cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's all these kinds of things that can be going on. I don't know what the temperature is there. She's wearing a sweatshirt, but I don't know what the temperature is. I didn't really catch how the officers were dressed initially. I think one might have had a beanie on. So it might be cold. Could be causing some of it. So we'll be watching for additional signs of impairment that can be documented both visually and by the officer in their report as the investigation continues.
All right, let's jump back into this.
The red car. You were the only one in the
Okay, so
vehicle?
this was
Okay, come over here to my squad car, okay?
from 2022,
Can you take your purse off and just set that on here? We got to.
April 10th. So
Yep. Do you have anything illegal on you?
Illinois at that time, it's still pretty cold.
Your
So
purse. Okay. Have you had any marijuana tonight?
No.
Okay. Can you set those on the car for me?
My vape too.
Yep. Set that down there.
And my
In
phone.
your phone? Yes, ma'am. All right. Just come over here. Just put your hands on my car. He's got a pat search before I put you in my car, okay?
Okay. That's,
No pockets or anything. Okay. All right. Until we figure out how we're going to handle this, I'm going to have you sit uncuffed in the back seat of my car. I'm going to get you out. We're going to probably do some field sobriety tests and all that. I got some more questions for you. But right now, I'm going to have you sit down just so we're out of the roadway, okay? Right over here. Just scoot that over for me, okay?
do you want to do it? Thank
There we
you.
go. Are you hurt at all or need medics yourself?
No, sir.
See, there you go.
I mean, your car's pretty beat up, so I'm making sure.
I'm okay.
Are you bleeding anywhere?
No, I'm okay.
Is that little blood splatter on your hands maybe from the glass? See, you got glass cut all over you.
Do I?
Okay.
I think I'm okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hang tight a
I'll
minute.
wait right here.
so
Okay.
clearly checking for
Suspect
signs of
referred.
injury.
Right. He did a visual inspection of her, asked her if she had any injuries. I didn't notice him patting her down for any kinds of weapons.
Sorry.
He did a
All right.
preliminary
All
Terry
right, so here's
frisk.
the deal. Just
for
because
another-
I do have you in the
Must
back
miss
of the
that.
police car,
Okay.
I don't have you in custody or under arrest, but obviously you don't feel like you're free to go right now, right? So I'm just going to read your Miranda rights. You understand?
He realizes that this is a fatality. Well, he knows that, right? That's why he's starting off with a Miranda. She may not know that people are dead, or she may not
Right.
even know anybody's injured, especially given her potential level of intoxication. Well, he knows it. He knows this is a homicide investigation. So he's starting off collecting the additional information from her, making sure that she's read her Miranda. I don't know what his background is. He may be, I would not let a line officer handle something of this severity.
Mhm.
They may have grabbed somebody with special accident reconstruction experience, a DRE, which is drug recognition expert, and somebody that handles fatal accidents as part of the course of their duties and has additional training, because that's going to come into play in court testimony. You want to treat this as if it was an actual homicide where there was a shooting or a stabbing or something like that. You just don't want the random patrol officer collecting this evidence.
That makes a lot of sense. You think about things like you don't think about things like that when you see these videos.
Silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have a right to talk to a lawyer before question, have him present with you while you're being questioned. Cannot afford to hire a lawyer, want to be provided for you before question. Okay, do you understand each of your rights? How do you say your first name? Stephanie. Okay. That being said, will you talk to me? Explain what happened.
I will
Okay.
talk to you about it.
See, she
All right,
just
so
waved for Miranda.
Mhm.
What happened prior to the accident?
I was coming to full throttle, and I was almost here, as you can see.
Were you driving this way or that
I
coming
was
down that side
coming
road?
here this way.
Okay.
And suddenly, one person walked out in front of me,
Okay.
and my car got hit. I called you as soon as they got hit.
You called 911?
Yes, I called 911 as soon as something happened. And then
Notice how she's already framing the argument. The person hit her, she didn't hit the person.
Yeah, somebody walked in
What
front of
happened when
me.
you hit the one person, what happened?
I just called you. That's all I know. I
Okay.
called
Did
you.
did they fall down right away, or did you get out and help them, or what happened?
I got out, I called you, and then everyone else came out. So I like kind of just let them
Okay.
come and take over the situation.
Okay.
But I promise you, like, I only know one person got hit, and I'm just like, they came out of nowhere because I am a safe driver.
I
Like,
get it. Hang on 1 minute. It's going to start the rain here. Okay.
Again, this is an interesting case because we're seeing
Okay.
maybe she's injured, like maybe she's impaired, but
If you had to ask
like
me,
you
how
said, she's
fast
framing
were
the
you going
narrative
to
of, oh,
hit the
I'm not
person?
the one at fault.
I would say I was going at least 40. At least 40.
You think
maybe 40 to 45, but at least 40.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Do you think you were going too fast for this area at the time with the darkness?
I honestly don't think I was going too fast because I try to be precautionary about where I'm at.
Okay.
But I just know that one person came out of nowhere.
See, one of the things that the reconstructionist will do is look for skid marks in the roadway and measure it.
Mhm.
And they
Obviously, you saw
have
them in the
formulas
field,
they can
time
work up
ran,
estimated
time
speed of travel.
That's
Now, she may not have braked at all.
All right. Where were you coming from tonight?
And,
Tavern, 41.
we see a lot of these crime shows,
Tavern, 31,
CSI and all
Tavern
that. They
41
talk about,
Sterling
oh, well,
area. Okay. And you
The-
left the Tavern 41 and drove
they
straight
hit
in?
at this
Yes, sir.
speed,
Okay. Over the course of the night, how
or they
much had you done?
skidded, or,
I probably
they
had about
they had a burnout because they were
What
waiting
is
for
3 drinks?
somebody.
You like? Are we talking what type of drinks?
just vodka.
Vodka, straight vodka, or mixed drinks?
Vodka and water, so I was staying hydrated, and
Okay.
drinking. Mhm.
Well, that's always important when
Right
you
now-
drink and drive to make sure you're hydrated.
No, just like don't trust me.
Again, that confession is going to come out to hurt
a little bit.
her, but
Circumstance, obviously, we have to. Okay.
it's
How
best to be
long ago was
honest
your
than
last
lie to the
drink, would you
cops.
say?
And
My last drink, I would say about 40 minutes.
40 minutes ago. Were you drinking anything while you're in the vehicle, or
No.
was the last drink at the bar?
At the bar.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least drunk you've ever been, 10 being the most drunk you've ever been, where would you say you put yourself at right now?
5. Because I
So
do-
you notice he said the word
I see
drunk,
you, I see everyone.
Mhm.
I know the
Not
situation, you know what I mean?
tipsy, or how many drinks did you have? Just leave it at that. He said,
Okay.
how drunk
All right,
are
come on down
you?
and close the
Oh,
door.
I'm a
If it
5.
stops raining, we might do some tests
Mhm.
in the roadway. Otherwise, we might go back.
I mean,
to
is
the
there a
police station.
scale where we can go from Ron
Okay.
White
Is there-
to,
You got your purse, your,
preacher?
phone
Yeah.
already.
Well,
That's
so
all we need out of your car, right?
I'm
Okay.
only halfway as drunk as I've ever been. I don't know what that means.
All right, I'm going
And
to
again,
run your information. You got a
trash.
valid license and all that, correct? All right. All right, Stephanie, go ahead and step on out here for me. We're going to do these quick tests. It started to rain a little bit, but it pretty much let up, as long as you're okay with that.
Okay.
All right, come right over here. You can just stand here in front of my squad car and face me. All right, just confirming. You said you had approximately how many breaks in the bar tonight? 3. Okay. All right, last one was great. Okay. All right. Do you have any medical problems, injuries, or problems with your eyes?
I mean, I have injuries, but it's like,
Okay. What do you do?
that would affect my
What do you do for work?
I waitress at one
So you're on your feet all day. No,
all day.
no issues with that. Okay. Overall, you're pretty healthy.
She can't claim her back is out, her knees are
See your
out.
pen right here?
I see your
What I want you to do is follow the tip of my pen. I'm going to move my pen back and forth several times. Once you follow the tip of my
Do you want
pen,
me to like walk or just my eyes?
no, we're just doing your eyes right
Okay.
now. I want you to follow the tip of my pen with your eyes only, but keep your head still. I want you to continue that test, so I tell you to stop,
Okay,
okay?
sir.
You
I'm ready
understand?
right now. Yes.
All right, touch the tip of my pen just so I know where you're. There you go. All right.
He'll document whether or not she was able to hit the end of the pin.
Nope, keep your head still for me.
Oh, my head. Okay.
Yes,
Gonna
ma'am.
check the eye for nystagmus.
Just your
Mhm.
eyes.
It's a little bouncy
It's
thing.
really
Is the
hard.
eye bounce?
Again.
It's hard.
All right. Just
Okay.
keep your head still for me.
Already she's failed this test because, she's moving her head.
Yeah,
She's
she's
not really-
swaying. She's dancing to a tune that's only in her head.
It's so hard keeping my head still.
As best you can. Just follow with your eyes. Are you able to hold your head still without your hands?
Okay.
All right,
fine,
just follow with your eyes,
fine,
okay?
fine, okay.
Keep following. Keep looking out to the side. There you go.
I see you.
Keep looking at it to the side.
Now, when it comes to the DUI roadside tests, there's not really a set standard, but is there a certain test that you feel in your past, career of law enforcement
Yep.
help determine most definitely somebody might be impaired?
Sure. One of my favorite, in different states will have different standards, so it could vary widely. Now, the form we had a place for them to write the alphabet, because you can have them recite the alphabet. We might do that, note if they missed a letter or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have them write the alphabet and sign it.
Okay, go up.
That's
Keep your head
physical
straight,
evidence
your
that can
eyes.
be shown. And generally,
Tilt it down.
Oh, sorry.
it looks like an EKG.
Like you're looking at the sky, but keeping your head down.
They have a very hard time writing the alphabet, and they sign their name. The signature may look nothing like their normal signature, and that's all evidence in court. Because I can tell a jury something,
Okay.
and
Come
then
right over here for the next
goes up-
test, okay?
that it depends on how they look at my credibility
What
on
I'm
the
going to
issue.
have you do is
If you put it
stand
in writing
about
in front of them
here,
from the
raise
suspect
my card.
themselves,
We don't
it's
have a
hard to
line. We're going
deny.
to pretend there's an invisible line straight from you to my license plate, okay?
And again,
See my
that
license plate fine?
that really helps out with the case.
That's the area we're going
You know,
to walk towards that, okay? What I want
showing
you to
the
do is put
proof
your
other
left
than
foot
just like,
down
well,
first.
we're going to
Now put your
hear,
right
but
foot
we're
in front of your
actually
left
going to now
foot with
see
your
the
right heel
proof.
touching your left toe, just as I'm demonstrating. Go ahead and get in that position for me. Yeah, I want you to. Go ahead and tie your shoe for me, okay?
I will say this, that I've never had a female DUI who didn't want to fight at some point during the investigation.
I mean,
I don't know why.
Okay.
Usually guys will want to get it over
Exactly
with.
as I'm
Just take me
demonstrating.
to
Put your
jail,
left foot
like, get
down.
home.
Now put your right
You
foot
always
in front of your
wanted to
left
fight.
foot, your right heel touching your left toe. Stay in that position.
now I've
while
seen
I
a
explain
lot
instructions.
of
Do not begin until I tell
DUI
you to, okay?
pullovers
Hands straight down your side.
on YouTube, and
When I say you're going to
some
take
of-
9 heel
I would have
toe
to
steps
kind of
down
agree.
the
A lot
line,
of the
you're
ones
going to
I've
turn around and
seen,
take
a lot
9
of the
heel toe steps
the
back,
most famous
okay?
one is the I think it was
When
Donna
I say you're
Summer.
going to take 9 heel to toe steps down this line, you're going to
Was
turn
yelling
around
at
and
the
take
cops.
9 heel to toe steps back. On your turn, I want you to
I
keep
have
your
one
front foot on the
female
line.
DUI
Then you're going to use your other foot to turn yourself
stands
around
out,
with several small
and she was
steps.
stumbling
Okay?
quite a bit.
This is what
And she dropped a lot of F bombs. The judge can F this. The judge can F himself. The judge can. And I wrote in the report, I said, she told me various ways the judge could F themselves. For a complete list of the ways the judge can F themselves, please refer to the video booked into evidence.
Oh, I bet that made a fun viewing in the courtroom that day.
I'm sure when she gave it to her defense attorney, he's like, "Oh, brother."
Can we just take a deal? Can we make a deal? If I was that defense attorney, I'd be like, "Yo, is Adam Schiff working today? I know he likes to make a lot of deals. Let's go."
Adam Schiff.
But-
That was that one was pretty funny. She kept saying, "You don't know who you're messing with." Well, it turns out she's a loan officer at a local bank, and I didn't need a loan, so I don't know what weight she held over me. But
before we start the video up again, hello Lemon Tart and hello Sorcerer Red Hair. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, I mean, maybe she was going to try to intimidate the judge with the power of a lower finance rate.
yeah, I guess I will.
is what it's going to look. This is what it's going to look like. This position you're in. When I say go, 1, 2, 3, on down to 9. Keep that front foot on the line. Use your other foot to turn yourself around with several small steps. Nope, stay in that position. Go back just the same. 1, 2, 3, and on down to 9. Okay. Again, I just did 3 for demonstration purposes. I'm going to have you do 9 each way. During this test, make sure you watch your feet at all times. Keep your arms straight down your side. Count out loud so I can hear you. Once you begin the test, do not stop until you have completed the test, okay?
9, turn around.
Yeah. Do you understand my instructions?
I think so.
All right. Go ahead and begin the test, okay?
1, 2, 3.
Check, what was that? Edward 8 or 33. Your car.
Well, she's not going to be one of the Wallenses at the circus, but I'm surprised she's doing this well, actually.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what it reminds me of?
All right.
If you've ever
If you're
seen
gonna
some of the
stand right here
later
in front of me for the
seasons
next test,
of
Go ahead and face
Reno
me. Both feet
911.
together, arms straight down your side.
Clementine pulled over this
One leg
guy,
stand.
and she had him
That's
do
okay.
like the
Whichever
whole
leg you
thing,
choose,
and
I'm gonna
even
have
do
you
like
lift
a
it
burlesque
approximately
dance
6
with
inches
the
off the
kicks.
ground with your foot parallel to the
He
ground.
passes him.
Holding that position
He goes,
once you count
"Oh,
out
I can do
for
that. I'm
30
just really
seconds
drunk
in the
right
following
now."
manner, 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until you get it 30 seconds or until I tell you to stop, okay? During this test, make sure you watch your raised foot at all times. Keep your arms straight down your side. Count out loud so I can hear you. This is what it's going to look like. Position you're in. When I say go, you're just going to lift your foot up. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, and so on till you get 30 seconds or until I tell you to stop. You
Can I
understand?
lift it like this?
No, ma'am. Just as I demonstrated, okay?
Like just up?
Just as I demonstrated. Did you see my demonstration? Just like this. Your foot parallel to the ground.
Okay, I got it.
You understand?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and begin the test, okay?
1,000. Is that what it is?
Drop your foot, lift it right back up. Keep going where you left off.
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000.
Oh, she is just sloshed.
5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, oh no. 9, 1,000. Oh, I can't do it.
Continue
Yeah.
the test, okay?
10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000.
She's getting picked last for dodgeball tonight.
Oh, I can do it.
Well, knowing the outcome
All right,
of
we'll stop the
this,
test right there. Go ahead
I
and
will
stand right here
say
from upper at one last test.
she'll
for you,
have
okay?
plenty of time to
Stay right here for me.
practice.
This is called a PBT test. You ever blown one of these before? Okay.
What's your money
Legal
on?
limit is to drive in
Seen it
Illinois.
before? What's a BAC going to be on it?
8, okay. What I'm gonna have you do
Oh,
is take a deep breath, a long.
Do you know?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be at least
Can
twice.
we
the
make this a
legal
drinking game, by the way? The audience?
limit. We could.
I'm gonna go 0.17.
I'm going 0.18.
All righty.
Long, hard, steady blow into the straw, just like you're blowing up a balloon. Keep blowing until you hear the machine click, okay? All right?
Blowing up a what?
Yes, ma'am. Take a deep breath, long, hard, steady
Oh, she
blow.
doesn't care about what's going on.
A little bit harder for me, a little bit harder. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay.
Go to Bradley.
You're a Bradley student.
I graduate in 4 weeks.
You're a .264, okay?
Oh my goodness.
All right.
If she's that high, she drinks a lot. And she's functioning
DUI.
pretty well for somebody that lit.
Oh yeah.
She drinks a lot.
And the sad thing is this: I will confirm that there have been 2 people who've lost their lives, and her concern once she finds out will shock you.
Well, the fact that she hasn't asked what's happened to the person that she hit
All right.
is telling in and of itself.
Whatever you say.
Okay. So just so we're clear, I'm going to undo your seatbelt, okay?
Oh, sorry. We're good.
Some of these things won't determine innocence or guilt, but it can determine your sentence.
Yeah. You know, the 2 people, you did hit 2 people
I
total.
did not.
You did.
I didn't.
Okay. I'm
I
just,
didn't.
okay. However you want to word it to yourself, that's fine. Okay. I'm just telling you, there's 2 people struck by your vehicle and both are dead.
I did not hit
Okay.
people. I can tell you right now.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you the 2 people that hit
Why
your
would I
car.
call
Ma'am,
911
listen.
if I
2 people struck your vehicle, so I'm telling you, and they're both deceased on scene. I'm just telling you that information, okay? We're going to go in here. We're going to do the thing. I appreciate you being
Yes,
cooperative so far.
Maddie
I got to tell you.
And
what's going
Sorsha,
on.
I can confirm
Understand?
the 2 people that were struck by her vehicle were pronounced DOA. Well, not DOA, but they did
Sit
pass.
here and grab all this stuff here.
I had at least one when I was working nights, one call where a pet
Once we get in here, we'll tell them. They'll probably take
and
it off,
killed.
okay?
It was pretty grisly. He was actually driving drunk and pulled over the side of the road to pee and got hit by another drunk driver, got fixated on his taillights, and one of his legs was severed from the rest of the body.
Front windshield was shattered out, so that's understandable.
Hey, Joe, thank you for coming by.
That was rough. His family was there, so I did CPR. He was bled out, but I was doing CPR for the families.
You know what I mean? I
sake.
Comfort. Yeah. And, but like I said, his leg had been ripped from his body.
And I want to go to Vegas. My friends take me to Vegas. It's going to be so fun.
Let me see if I can put subtitles on this so we can hear her.
And I'm going to start off with too long.
Still giggling.
Yes. You all had enough of drinking already?
This is not going to be able for her.
That's right. Have you been there? I swear to God, if you're Snapchatting right now, I'm not. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to have such a long day tomorrow. Oh my God.
They're going to do blood. They want to get that evidence that they can retain. If she were to do a breathalyzer in the station, that's just the printout. But blood is evidence that can be saved.
And I want to pause real quick because you brought up a
One last test for you.
valid point. You said when they, about her talking about, going to Vegas and denying that she hit two people. It may not be evidence to convict, but it would affect her sentence.
Yeah, she's really doing her best to make sure she gets the maximum sentence possible. She doesn't want anybody to beat her in that game. She's doing a really good job at that. And like I said, they probably want to do the intoxilizer. If she'll consent to blood, that'd be the easiest. That's evidence that can be retained. Now, in the absence of consent, they'll go get a warrant because it's that serious of a crime. They won't fool around with having any potential evidence tossed out. So they'll go get a warrant if need be. But I think she'll go ahead and consent to the blood draw because she thinks this is one big joke.
Oh, yeah. She treats this whole thing like a joke. But what will shock you the most viewing this is what she's more concerned about.
It's probably her midriff.
No. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that.
I'm not going to answer any questions. You're going to be like, bruh, I went home for today. Okay, well, you're being too quiet, so I'm going to start singing because I hate quiet. So,
You gotta figure out all your paperwork.
that's fine. I just
Yeah, the paperwork involved in these is pretty substantial. A lot of form.
And with something like this, a lot of it has to be done because it's sensitive time crunch.
Well, just any kind of DUI, it's amazing how much paperwork is involved, even for .08. You have the special DUI paperwork for the criminal end of it. You have DMV paperwork to submit to the Department of Motor Vehicles. There's a lot that has to be done. He's going to be writing some pretty detailed accident reports. So he's going to have an accident report that has to be done, a criminal report that has to be done, your typical DUI paperwork or DWI, depending on what your state calls it. So there's a lot that is going to go into this accident reconstruction. This is going to be practically a 3-ring binder full of documents because of the severity of the crime. Well, just any DUI, you'd be surprised how thick the paperwork is. But this kind of a case, it's a homicide.
Lemon Tarts 83. I don't think it's just you. I think any of us would come to the realization of what we've done wouldn't be able to. Like I personally don't drive due to the fact that I have some health concerns that would make it impossible. But if I was to get behind the wheel and something to happen to somebody, I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't. That would haunt me for the rest of my days.
Well, we know what song she's singing. I'm not cool, so I don't know this music.
I don't know what the young people listen to. I listen to stuff from the 80s, 90s, and 70s, and even the 60s.
You're probably calling 80s the oldies. You're going to offend me.
Oh, no. That's when music was still good. Some of the stuff that kids listen to today, I just don't understand that trap house music and club music.
No, I don't either.
Oh, hey, you never answered me about my car. And then I have school tomorrow, so how do I get my car?
Yeah, don't worry about
Your
that.
car is totaled.
It's what?
Your car is totaled.
Told?
Totaled, wrecked.
Okay, so how do I get it to your school?
You don't.
So I don't go to school tomorrow, is what you're telling me?
No, ma'am. You want me to be honest with you? You're going to jail. You don't have a bond. You killed 2 people tonight. I don't think you understand that. You do not have a bond. You are not getting out of jail. Your car is property of East Peoria Police Department because it's a crime scene. It killed 2 people tonight. You are clueless with that, clearly. I've already explained this to you. You're going to jail for reckless homicide tonight. You're going to jail for aggravated DUI for killing 2 people. That's what's going on. So no, you're not going to school tomorrow. You're not getting your car out of impound.
Can I have a Tuesday?
After hearing that, her only concern is so I can get my car Tuesday.
There is a certain portion of the population that is sociopathic, and I think most of us tend to think of sociopaths as the Norman Bates of the world.
Right.
There's a lot of them that are very high functioning. They don't have any sense of guilt. I'm sure all of us have encountered those people, haven't we? People we thought were our friends, and then when it became convenient to be something else, all of a sudden we're like, where did that person come from? Like I said, they're high functioning sociopaths. Not a therapist. Go see Dr. Grande's channel. Not diagnosing this girl, although I don't think my opinion of her much matters. But she has no consciousness of guilt. She does not care. She's self-absorbed. She's concerned about her car and her books and when she's going to get to Vegas again. Whether these 2 people are dead or not is of no consequence to her.
And something else, I know a lot of people are going to say this, oh, he's being too harsh with her. He's being too mean.
Well, when he started telling her the reality of the situation, he hasn't done his blood draw yet and collected all his evidence. So I thought you could handle it one of 2 ways. You could be direct like he was. I don't think he was mean at all. I think he was just very kind of, here are the facts, ma'am, like the old Dragnet TV show.
Just the facts.
Right. He could have told her, well, hold on, maybe we can get you an Uber later or something like that, just to keep her calm while he goes ahead and finishes up what he needs to get done. So he doesn't, because you never know if she's going to flip the script and go crazy on him.
Right.
So he could have played it cool and said, we'll get you an Uber. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Don't worry. We'll make sure that you have a place to stay tonight and that you have the appropriate transportation, and left it at that. And let her just go, oh, great. Thank you so much, officer. Can I get your phone number when we're done? But he went in and laid out the facts to her because probably, and I'm not knocking him by any stretch of the imagination, I think he's just so disgusted with her that he just looking at her like, I can't believe the behavior I'm witnessing. Believe it or not, police officers can still be shocked.
Oh, yeah. And I felt the same way when I first heard about the story. This is the first time I've actually watched the body cam footage. So this is hitting me just like, wow.
Yeah.
Did you just hear what I just told you?
You said I'm not going tomorrow. I'm talking about Tuesday.
Did you hear when I said
You
that
said I'm going to jail tomorrow.
you're going to jail when we're done here?
Yes.
Did you understand what I told that you killed 2 people tonight?
Yes. I'm just wondering when I can go to school.
Okay, we're done.
Well, she could probably finish college while she's in the state prison. They do have programs.
They do.
You're all on body camera being completely careless about killing 2 people tonight. You could care less.
And again, it's
That's
like you
sad.
said, maybe
It's
he's
pathetic.
just
It's
disgusted
horrible
with
all the same
the
time.
lack of remorse or concern.
Yes, ma'am, I care.
Okay, so can I ask when I can go back to school? So when can I, should I email my professors and be like, hey, I can go back to school for a while or what? Because I graduated before weeks. Like, I need to do that.
I don't know.
Well, you can give me advice. I do.
Well, to be quite frankly, I'm a little more concerned about the two people that are dead right now. To be fair.
Well, generally, these inmates, when they're in prison and they go back to college, and I've seen them do it. I had a prisoner one time ask me where I got my Bachelor of Science degree, and I told him, and he said he had a degree from the same school that he got while he was in the state penitentiary. So he could potentially go ahead and finish college at taxpayer expense later on. She's gonna have a lot of time to do homework.
Oh yeah. Personally, I would say this officer's been more patient than I could have been. Lemon Tart 83 said the same thing. He's been more patient than she would have been with her.
Hi.
Yeah. Unless they were in her purse and I took them. I don't think so. Oh. Okay.
There are phlebotomists or nurses under contract.
Good. We got the DUI kid done already, or just because she had some glass in her foot, they brought her back. I had a doctor look at her foot, but we're just waiting for the discharge paperwork now.
Okay, so they're at a hospital to clear her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was wondering if they're at the station. They said they had a doctor look at her foot in the clinic, so they took her to the hospital because the severity of the accident.
Oh my God, all of them
Jill
have
wouldn't let her-
Let me just pause it so we can hear you better over her.
Oh, was at first when I saw this, I thought perhaps she's in the back of the station in the DUI room or something. I wasn't paying that much attention to all the stuff on the walls because I'm not a detective. I was trying to listen to her and see what she was saying. When you have somebody involved in a serious car accident like this, the jail's not going to want to take her without medical clearance. So there's hospitals, typically a county hospital, won't be a private hospital. They'll go to a county hospital and have it evaluated. There's probably a special room set aside for arrestees, and they'll have the person seen by a doctor and any injuries tended to, and then they'll be medically cleared for the jail.
I was thinking more along the lines like, okay, maybe they're here just to get the blood draw for the DUI. But
no, that's occurring as well, I suspect. But the hospital staff, the regular hospital staff, won't be the ones probably doing the blood draw because there's a chain of custody issue. So there's probably an entity that's under contract with that agency that will send a phlebotomist or an LVN out to collect the blood, and then it'll be taken away by them, and they'll be sent to the crime lab, the county's crime lab, so that they can document a chain of custody. You just don't want random people at the hospital touching it because a defense attorney could say the evidence was contaminated.
yeah, Cliff, I'm gonna spoil the alert here for everybody. She got less than, I believe, 8 years. You know, she was looking at 10 to 15, maybe possible life at the time, but she actually got less than 8. So I know it's kind of hard to hear with all that.
Come on, dog. I'm tired. Nothing just weird. But it's okay. They're taking me to Vegas for my birthday. In 2 months. It'll be fun.
You're not going to Vegas,
I
darling.
just can't wait. Party.
Not unless the prison has casino nights.
There was a lot of gambling in jail, so she'll get a chance to play cards, roll dice.
Yeah, but I don't think the options of penny slots and all you can eat shrimp buffets compares to.
Well, the penny slots in the women's jail is a little different.
True, but I don't think the comparisons to, like I said, penny slots and all you can eat shrimp buffets in Vegas compared to playing cards for instant coffee and ramen are going to compare well.
I will say this one thing. I can't tell you about state prison, but I can tell you at least in the women's county jail, the men are issued underwear. You wouldn't believe what the underwear looks like, right? And the women's jail, somehow they smuggle in private underwear and they get their own underwear back from the laundry. They mark it. So it's not mystery underwear. I don't know how they do it.
The mysteries of incarceration is just fascinating. I've seen a lot of these shows, like Lockup and Lockdown and inside, these different prisons. But
county is really bad. County. Most of the time, county's bad. A lot of the inmates want to get to state prison, as quickly as possible because people tend to settle down. County jail is very disruptive. You have to go to court. You're woken up all different kinds of hours. People are upset. They're coming off of drugs. It's not a pleasant environment. Not that for you or I, state prison would be a pleasant environment, but people tend to settle down and they get into a routine. So it's a completely different environment. The food tends to be better. County jail food is usually pretty bad.
Oh yeah, and we've got 12 people in here. I'm feeling generous, so I'm gonna gift a membership out. So let's see who's gonna be the lucky winner. Let me gift out this one, and if you win, you get a little shout out of little thing I'm trying for the channel here. So let's see how this goes. Let's see who's going to be the lucky recipient. Maddie B, you won a free membership, so
yay, Maddie.
You get this. Let me try that again. Something new. I wish I had some better stuff with that, but I love Futurama. It's one of my favorite shows to watch. How would you like to see a woman get her 28th ticket and still don't care? Or would you rather see a Karen hit on the cops?
Well, Karens are always entertaining.
Oh, this one is a classic. I've actually covered it, and I can tell you this: you're not going to be let down with this one. She is literally caught red-handed. Let's see. Come on. Play button.
Hi there. Hi, how you doing? Doing all right. She's hammered drunk. Okay, is anybody hurt?
No.
Nobody's hurt, but she
So
decided.
he was on a call, and I was in the bedroom.
So where does she live? Right here?
No, but she ran in
into
there.
that house.
Okay.
She ran, knocked on the door, and they let her in, and they're hiding her. They keep opening the door and peeping out to see.
Is there anything like
Maddie, I
this
see you're already having
No.
fun with the custom
You know
emojis.
No.
No, we've never seen her in here before.
She's a realtor, she said, that lives on the other side. And so she says we're white
She said
trash.
we're white trash.
Yes,
we have
Cliff.
stuff in our yard, and so
Gotcha.
she barricaded our front walkway. She spray painted our door. So I was sitting in the bedroom. My son
Okay.
was on the couch, and we heard a knock on the door, and we thought it was him coming home. My son went to look out the peephole, and I said, "Did you unlock it?" He said, "No, it's all red." So we thought he was holding something. We opened the door and saw this van because he's got a Ring camera. And we saw this neighbor come out for a bike ride, but didn't see anybody here. And she comes walking by and, what happened? I was out walking my dog and she's carrying a can of spray paint and her hand is completely
Maybe her
red.
dog was Clifford the Big
I
Red
got her on
Dog.
videos. Yeah, she's in there trying to wash her hands and stuff.
And so then
but-
she ran over to them and she knows them and she's like, Joe, that's the guy that lives there. And I forgot what name he called her and told her, calm down. And so now he's keeping her in there and my other son's watching the back to make sure she doesn't try to get out of the backyard.
Gotcha. Give us just a moment. That video footage, are you able to show that to me? Is it on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take a look at that. And let's all go over here and go to the house in case she decides she wants to.
Now, have you covered property damage like this?
I think it's supposed to say white trash. And then I don't know what the bottom.
Somebody,
White
yeah, somebody did it to my garage.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She got all over that Honda.
Have you had to get a paint job on this BMW?
No.
No? Yeah, paint jobs are usually in the several thousands.
Well, we aren't.
I think it was something like White Boy Move or something like that.
Insurance, and then, but
Well, can't we charge her and make her pay?
Well, that's we'll have to go through the courts.
yeah,
That's
that
all.
Even though I have an Hispanic last name, but whatever.
Hey, I feel you on that one.
I was like, I guess I'm not brown enough for him or something.
Hello, police department.
Police department.
Can we come inside? Yeah, sure. Is that okay? Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. How are you? Good. How are you?
This is Alicia.
You gotta love it when they keep the evidence right in plain view.
Residents of 252. If you could update both units.
Well, one of the things you'll look at to see if they've got
Okay.
spray paint on their fingers.
Alicia?
Okay.
You used to do that for potential graffiti cases. You have a possible suspect. You just look at their hands to see if there's anything on their hands.
Where do I need to check that?
And we'll talk to you in just a moment, sir.
Oh, she's a huggy drunk.
You having trouble walking?
They're always the best.
Yeah, I drank.
Okay.
Yeah, I drank.
Okay, I got her. I got her from here. All right.
Well-
Out, okay. Don't push me, man. Okay.
I would
Let's step outside,
love
okay?
Jean.
Just follow
Let's step
him.
outside.
No, I
Yeah.
will
Man,
follow
we're the
them.
police.
Remember what I said about fighting?
Yep.
So you know.
Oh,
Don't
I
listen to
love
us,
it.
okay?
I love it. Oh, wait. You need
Now,
to
one thing
press
that's
the
wanted
button.
across the
Yeah.
street,
I've
engaging,
been drinking.
getting her all worked
I
up.
haven't
Mhm.
in a year.
Okay.
Joe, no, Joe.
Kind of reminds me of that daytime.
We'll talk to you in just a moment.
Joe.
Okay.
Joe.
Was it Joe?
No.
Let's step
Okay,
over.
what's going on?
Oh goodness, there was a show. God, I forget what the name of it. And that gal used to say, "Well, at least I'm not a daytime hooker."
Oh, my name is Earl.
My name is Earl. Yes, but
Yeah, she does kind of look like Patty in the daytime. Although this woman, I think she's been drinking a little too much tonight.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you need to listen to us, okay? We are the
she's like the kind of gal that can pound of
right now you are being detained, okay?
an old English 800.
Place you in handcuffs, okay? So you need to put your hands behind your back. Don't fight us or anything. Everything's being recorded on our cameras, okay?
Time. Because I spray painted that guy.
We'll talk about it here in just a moment.
You're being kind of sweet here.
Yeah.
Are you videoing this?
Yes, yeah, it's all being recorded right
Thank you. I love you. Love you.
Well, we love you too, Karen.
You have any
No,
weapons
I-
on you, Alicia?
Excuse me?
Any weapons or anything on you?
Just gotta make sure you don't have
No.
weapons. No? Okay. We just have to check. It's just a part of our protocol.
No,
Okay?
no. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we
I
want everyone to be safe, right?
no. I would like my kids. You can.
Your kids,
Yeah,
do you have kids at home?
No.
Oh, okay. Y'all,
I don't like that. No, like she's hitting on that cop a little too much already.
Are you okay?
Oh, I like it.
it's a part of the protocol.
Love it.
This side of
Hold
the-
on. We
Yeah,
gotta
that's more
go
of
back.
it.
We gotta go back to this.
Grown up.
Go to the back of my hand. I'm going to check your chest area, okay?
Oh, I like it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Love it.
This side, okay?
Flattery will get you everywhere, Karen.
Okay.
Uh,
George 550 PD, we have 110. You can go.
yeah, because
The
I
units are out.
spray painted it.
Let's wait to talk about that in a second, okay?
Okay.
My car's a
But that
big
first,
comfy car. We're gonna go ahead and take
no,
a
to
seat
the
in there for
cops.
now.
I have to ask this bird
Check it
dog.
out, all right?
I have to ask,
Most
have you ever been hit on by somebody you've stopped?
I'm sure I have. It doesn't. I'm sure there's been times. They don't really jump out at me. Now. I'll tell you two quick stories here. If you don't pause for a bit.
There you go.
The first thing is in the academy. They told us this is one of those things somebody drops in the middle of like some lecture. Was if somebody offers to let you see their boobs, don't fall for it. so I just remembered that, right?
Right.
And never came up. Well, years later, many years later, there was a guy that was working, who was a fairly new officer, super nice guy. Not the smartest guy, though, but really nice. And I guess some girl said, "Do you want to touch my boobs?" Apparently, he never got that instruction in the academy. So he said, "Okay." So he touched her boob, right? Or her. Now, she was cool with it, right? Well, her girlfriend in the car, she was having none of that. So she called the station to report him, and he lost his job. And he ended up becoming a heating and air conditioning repair guy. But so nobody ever did that. And had they offered, I would have turned it down because I was properly trained. But the other thing was one actually much more serious case. And we got a call, some guys in that side of town, mostly people that are undocumented. She encountered fortunately some good Catholics in the driveway having a couple of beers after working.
Mm-hmm.
And they called, they're Spanish speakers, they didn't speak English. So they called and they said, like, there's a crazy gal here. I think somebody drugged her. So we get there and there's a gal and myself and this other, they sent 2 units because it's a disturbance call. We get there and somebody had slipped her something in her drink that night. And she was offering, I'll keep it clean for the children's sake, but she was offering sexual favors to anybody and anything you might ever imagine. She was suggesting them. And I'll leave it to creativity. You cannot be too creative in this, trying to think of what she might have said. So we're like, okay, she's clearly not fit to walk the streets. So we took her on essentially kind of protective custody, like you might do somebody too intoxicated, and did a basic information report on it. Nothing criminal, because it was clearly she was a victim. Mm-hmm. At least by all, I guess perhaps she wasn't a victim, but my thinking she was. So she was saying the same kind of stuff in the car. Let me this to you. I want you to do this to me. Running wild, right?
Yeah.
And we took her, a neighboring city had a padded room. So we took her to the padded room and, handed over till she could sober up and get her medical treatment and everything like that, make sure she's safe. Well, that station had called my dispatch and said, she's taken all her clothes off. Because she kept trying to take her clothes off in our unit too, but she couldn't because we had her buckled in and handcuffed, but she was wanting to pull her pants down. So it's been cases like that. So that's something obviously much more serious than the other case I kind of described. But There's only 2 that kind of jump out at me. But people are always saying something to you. It happens so often, especially when you work in the hood. There's always something being nasty. It's, and then occasionally when I worked, you would have single moms ask you out when I worked in the schools. I get a lot of that. Like, hey, do you want to get together for drinks sometime? That sort of thing. And I was actually available at the time, but I turned it down because I knew all those kids from the school, and I wanted them to see me in a certain light. I didn't want them to see me coming over to pick up their mother.
Well, you can't help it if women love a man in uniform.
I just, it was one of those things there's so many things that can go wrong. If the person doesn't like it, they get mad at you, or it doesn't work out, then they say something, and it's just best to keep your personal life and your work life completely separate.
Yeah.
I had a guy that I worked with who we were assigned apartment complexes to kind of check on and kind of adopt. In fact, it was called adopt a complex or something like that. Somebody came up with an idea so they could get promoted to sergeant, which meant more work for somebody else. So we had to adopt these complexes, and one of the officers ended up getting into a relationship with the manager at one of the complexes, ended up with a kid and all that kind of stuff. So anytime you mix your professional life and your personal life, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah. It's best to keep that pen out of the company.
yeah, the company well, even if they don't officially work for the company.
You ruined our. Let's make sure we can start to talk, okay?
Let's get in the car. Okay.
I love it.
Here, hold on.
Oh, she loves everything.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
There you go. So you can see. Can you go ahead and take a seat for me?
Doesn't love the neighbors, but she
All right,
loves
thank you very
everything
much.
else.
Okay, wait. Here, put that way again. There you go.
Whenever you have drunks, though, there's two things you don't want to happen in the back seat.
All right. So we got some
One's
more work to
peeing
do.
and the other one's vomiting.
What?
Oh.
Why am I handcuffed?
So you are in handcuffs because someone spray painted the neighbor's property.
I did
We're
it.
investigating.
I did.
Okay. Well,
I
let
Your
me,
lawyer's
did.
not going to
okay,
like
let,
that.
let me read you some stuff first.
Okay, let me know.
Hold on. Let me read you something, okay?
He is the most.
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself, okay?
No.
1 second, okay?
You okay? No.
All right. Okay, are you listening? All right, you have the right to remain silent.
If you read it the same way every time, you never get called on it in
You have the
court.
right to talk to a
Say, I
lawyer and
used
have
this
them present
card, or
before
I've got this app.
and during any
I
questioning.
read straight from
If
it.
not afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed
You know,
to represent you free of charge.
used to watch
before
Cops
and during
a lot
any
as a
questioning
kid.
If you wish. You can decide at
And
any time to
I
exercise these rights and not
actually
answer any
kind
questions
of
or
freaked
make a
out my
statement.
dare officer
You
when I was in the
understand
4th grade
all these rights that I've explained
because they
to you?
tried to,
Yeah,
they tried to
yes,
scare
so.
us by taking us up
Yes,
to the
so?
car
Do
and
you have
say,
any
guess
questions
so.
about
"Do you know
those
what's going to
rights?
happen if you do drugs?"
No?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
And I was being a little bit of a
Well, with
wise
these rights
ass
in
at the
mind, do
time.
you still wish to speak to me and
So I was
answer
like,
my
"Yeah, I know
questions?
what happens."
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Well,
And I
appreciate
they
that.
said,
Thank you.
"What?"
So,
So I went to the back of the car, put my hands
so
behind my
you've been
back,
drinking
and read my
tonight. You
Miranda
said yourself
rights
you've
to
been drinking,
myself.
and there's not a
And they
crime,
looked at me
so
like,
how
"How
much
do
have
you
been
know
drinking tonight?
this?" And I just said with the most sincere look on my face, "I watch
had,
Cops on Saturdays."
Yeah, there you go.
drinks,
I actually saw
but
somebody new on
I
fire.
I'm in a recovery,
Really?
and I was trying to test everything.
There you go.
Trying to test what? The alcohol? Okay, what kind of alcohol was it?
The drinking kind?
I don't know.
Was it like hard liquor, beer, wine?
Yeah, hard
Hard
liquor,
liquor?
probably.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You said you had 3 drinks.
Yeah, and I would love take me away.
Okay. So let me ask you, what happened tonight? And start from the beginning.
I
So you were drinking, and then
I
what
am
happened?
so tired.
Okay.
He always has shit, and I'm a realtor.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm like slurring my words. I
Well,
do
you've been
this.
drinking a lot, right? So
Yeah, I have.
yeah.
But you
To
know
quote
what?
Mr. Leahy from Trailer
You
Park
don't like
Boys,
all the trash
"She
in
is the
front
liquor."
of the house, or what?
I don't.
Great program.
Okay.
Love
I
it.
don't.
You know, the boys just got
there's
their
a lot of red paint
pops.
over there, and why don't you tell me what you told me just a little bit ago?
I am
How'd that
planning
get
on
there?
getting a set of them.
Oh,
Having-
he's had that there
I live in
for
the trailer park.
months.
Yeah, I love
Talk
that
about the
show.
red paint.
Oh,
Ricky,
I
Bubbles, and
just
Julian
did that.
are on pre-order right now.
Yeah,
so I'm
no,
gonna
I
get them
love
when they
that.
come out.
I will go to jail. He ruins all our lives. And all
How does he ruin everybody's lives?
I am a realtor.
So
And-
how is your life affected by his trash?
Oh my god. Like everybody that comes in here, or I try to sell home, and he even brought he said fuck you onto their property. if you could let me go into this house and talk
Lemon.
to
That joke there.
Jane and
Part.
Joe.
There have been
So you
tons
can't go
of dad
anywhere.
jokes on
So right
streams
now,
today,
you
and I
know,
love it.
David said, you know,
I
you
even
see
participated.
everything going on. You are under arrest right
Why
now
did the fisherman go
for,
fishing?
felony level criminal damage to property. Okay.
I
the hell of
love
it.
it.
So
There you go.
So I
situation, so you gotta
damaged
stay
his
right here.
property.
So that's
How
what
do
you
you-
said. That's
Okay,
what you
wait. How do you know I damaged his property?
said. Well,
just
there's
told us.
multiple things. First of all, you just told us. Secondly, there was a spray paint can in the house that we found you in, and third of all, you also have paint all over your hands.
There you go. Paint on the hands.
That's what we have, and
I love it.
yeah,
I
so-
love it.
She didn't have anything on her, right? Nothing at all. Okay.
If she
No,
had a
I
dog,
don't
where's the
think-
dog? I'm concerned for the
but
dog's
Can
safety.
can I talk to Jane?
No, you gotta keep your feet inside the car, okay? You're not allowed to get out of the car at this point.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I know.
Oh, Lemon.
Like you look at all these things and they're like bad people and they're
Look,
black
the
and they like,
backdrop
oh my god.
more than this because she doesn't have to write any
I'm
paper
not
on it.
entirely
It's
sure
just
what
pure
you're
entertainment for her.
but,
Well, no,
Let
I'm
me-
just saying,
Uh,
yeah,
let you
there's
record it.
There's a seatbelt right here. I'm just gonna put your seatbelt on real quick, okay?
We got admitting to being drunk, admitting to this to vandalism, and an outburst of racism.
Where are you going?
If we're playing bingo, folks, you're almost at the trifecta.
To the prisoner transport center, and then
Everyone needs to remember she is a realtor.
So why am I going to jail?
So you're being arrested for criminal damage to property. And,
Wait.
Hold on.
No.
Yeah, we gotta put your seatbelt on. Okay. All right. So we'll talk to you again here in just a moment.
Now, truth be told, Albuquerque's got a
No.
Watch your head, okay?
fine. They'll work
No.
out something
Yep.
with her. She'll be like a fine, pick up some trash on the weekend or
Oh yeah.
something.
All right, we're here.
Super serious.
Watch your step.
Oh,
You gotta step up.
Step up.
okay.
There
I
you go.
know. I drank.
Come on.
Yep.
Come
Did
on.
drink. Okay, hold on a minute.
I don't want you falling back into the car.
No, I don't want to either. And I know. I know. I
Stand
drank.
still for just a second, okay?
I said, no, it's fine.
No, but it does make it easier. It does make it easier to punish when they admit to guilt.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
You obviously don't make good decisions when you drink. Huh?
Well, no, I that's a great decision because this guy, he makes our
Watch your step.
Yeah, it's
home looks like shit.
So that's why you spray painted their house and vehicles.
Yeah, and he has
Yeah.
he doesn't pay any of our HOA.
Hold on.
Sorry, I drank.
Temperature check.
Temperature check.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, hitting on the nurse is not going to help either. She's just hitting on everybody.
a good time.
You
So
guys have been in here already tonight, though.
We
huh?
should be like gone.
Last night.
Yeah, that was last night.
I am a bad person, everybody.
I hear that.
I am. I'm horrible.
We're gonna
I love
take a
sense
seat
of humor.
over here, okay? Let's go this way. Take
I
a
do
seat
not
love
enjoy
it.
working Jill intake.
Okay.
right here.
There's at one
I
point
love
when
it.
they get booked in and they stay because
Why?
Okay.
Why? Okay, why?
they're going to be residing there for a
Are
while.
you?
Is having to do
Why?
the
Here, okay?
churches.
No, I want to know why.
That's my duty.
Why?
Okay, if you get up, I'm gonna have to handcuff. Oh, I'm gonna have
You
to
are.
Oh,
You already handcuffed me.
Okay. Are you gonna be able to sit down or?
I'm gonna get the
Are
wheelchair
you? No. What?
or the
Why are
restraint chair
you
just to be on the
handcuffing
safe
me?
side because I'm scared she's gonna fall.
I'm under arrest. I love it. This is great.
Try not to
I
move
have
around so much 'cause
never-
you're gonna fall off.
You can meet men there.
No, I have never been under arrest.
Well, Karen can meet the next love of her life. And
I
then
used to, the women's jail where I used to work years. I didn't work at that women's jail. They had a circular drive out, and there'd be all these guys lined up. I said, "Why are all these guys lined up outside at the circular drive?" And they said, "Oh, they come at release time, and they look for the girls that don't have rides home."
It's a smart move, but I think it's a bad move at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's sometimes it's just about standards. You do math, I do math, and I think we got a lot in common.
You know, let's go with the Karen getting her 28th ticket
All right.
from Blue Cam, because there's nothing like going to the judge and saying, "Yeah, I know I've seen you here last week, but I can explain." Although I will say this, there is somebody in my town who has too many DUIs to drive car, but yet he drives a tractor through town every day.
Well, that's pretty funny. I've I actually have a friend who's one of the highest functioning alcoholics you could ever meet, and kind of like a Ron White. I mean, I don't want to say Ron White drinks or anything like that, but you mentioned him earlier. But this guy, and I've never known anybody this brilliant, by the way. And well, he's completely lit, and he actually moved to a place where he could just walk everywhere.
That makes sense. Let's check out this one from Code Blue Cam. And, well, you can't go wrong with Code Blue Cam.
2023.
I just want to see
A
what
deputy
her excuse is
observed a
going to
driver who was operating a vehicle with a revoked driver's license in Whiting, Wisconsin.
Oh, of course it's Wisconsin.
Traffic. We'll be in the McDill Pond parking lot. Driver will be Nicole, passenger Irving.
10-4, and you're in the boat launch parking.
Upon approach of the vehicle, the 33-year-old female driver named Nicole immediately acknowledged having a suspended license. It was evident this hadn't been her first encounter with the police.
I think if they know you by your first name, it's kind of a bad sign.
Sheriff's office. The reason I'm stopping you is because you're suspended, Nicole.
Thank you. So I actually gas too. Do you want it?
What's that? You ran out of gas?
Yeah, I just ran out of gas, literally.
Okay. All right. Do you have your ID card on you at all?
No, you know who I am.
Okay. What about you? Do you? Irvin, you don't have anything?
See, do you see what I mean?
All right.
Why even ask?
Okay. Do you have insurance?
By the
No,
time
I
they pay for tow fees and everything, it would be cheaper just to get a ride.
There's no weed in my car.
Oh, yeah.
It smells like weed.
Because it always smells like weed. Can you please read the reports? It always smells like weed. I smoke in my garage. My car's in my garage. I have a son this time in the car that I just picked up from school. I'm not doing this with my kid in the car.
I know, Nicole.
Okay. So
So
do what you guys got to do, but there's no weed in my car, and nobody's smoking weed with my kid in the car.
Okay, so when was the last time you smoked weed in your car?
I smoked weed in my garage yesterday, which my car is literally in my tiny garage. So if it smells like reefer, it's because I smoke good reefer. And this is the story I tell every single one of you.
Oh,
every time you guys do
wow.
this. Story never changes.
Did you have your seatbelt on?
Nope, I did not. Probably.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask it. Are you gonna arrest her for possible possession?
Right here, I don't. You know, by the way, I lived in a state where pot was legal, and even recreational. And I had some neighbors that had all their friends over all the time, and they just smoked all day long. And I thought, how the hell are they going to sell that house with that weed? Like, it's got permeated the walls and everything else. And I'll tell you, personally, I don't care what people want to do in their homes, but you do not drive better under the influence of marijuana. I've heard that before. No way. So if she's smoking that much, I don't think I'm going to guess she's smoking daily. She didn't just smoke every day. She's smoking daily. And if it's in the car, why Why does the inside of the car smell like weed? What? She just got the windows down and she smokes so much in the garage, the entire car smells like weed for days on end. I'm not buying it.
Well, we can't forget what she said. She did say, well, because I smokes really good reefer. Which I haven't heard it said by somebody her age. I've heard that said by people much older.
She dropped the I found it. I had a loose doobie in the car.
I was
on Irvin.
I would laugh at that point. I'll probably break another
so
chair.
Nothing in the car?
Nope.
At all?
No.
Okay. That's your son in the back, you said?
My son, yes.
Okay. All right, just hang tight for me.
Not gonna lie, she kind of reminds me of somebody I dated.
Due to the odor of marijuana emitting from the vehicle, the deputies found it probable to be searched.
6 might come off, so be going.
Well, if she's
out on a
suspended, you
search
can
shortly.
impound it. You start doing an inventory search anyway. So you could get in the car multiple ways.
Alert, revoke driver's license.
I didn't see that, Cliff. Oh,
That's a good word.
I gotta share this with everybody.
Parked here. Or?
No, she's coming by.
There you go.
There. At the intersection, I turned around and she pulled in here. She said she just ran out of gas, apparently.
One man's jail is another man's tender.
You have next year.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, she said she smoked in it the
our
other day.
community. We have some of the funniest people in it.
Well,
Since 2007, Nicole has been issued 27 citations just for driving a vehicle without a license, totaling over $5,000.
How's it going, guys?
It'd be cheaper just to get an
Ran
Uber.
out of gas? Or
That point,
Dinner?
it would be cheaper just to get
I'm
your
just
license
asking.
back.
Sure, and that's what I'm doing right now. So
We can
what?
have gas, but I'm just saying, I got my kid in the car this time, so I'm not gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna do.
Oh,
But
okay.
Be calm and nice.
Okay. Well, I guess what it looks like to us is that you see a cop, you pull into a driveway. So I mean, that's what it looks like to us. I get it. If you ran out of gas, you ran out of gas. Like in a gas can. Okay, good deal. All right. Almost made it.
Yes. Why do you guys bring so many sheriffs every time you guys pull me over?
Well, from your last traffic stop, that's why.
You really don't have anything better to do on New Year's Eve? I
Right.
didn't do
If
anything
you were
illegal
in
because
you know
you're
why?
lazy and you don't want to pull over somebody where you have to do
Who
paperwork.
has a suspended driver's license?
Oh,
Okay.
why was this so
Wow. Wow.
Hopefully not, right, guys? Okay. All right.
Tell
No,
us she
it's
might
really not
be
true.
single.
People are disrespecting me.
You ever kid in the car?
Yes.
Well, I don't think we're being disrespectful.
Well,
right
not
now.
that last time.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. That's your right to believe that.
What's it smell like? Just weed? Pretty strong or
Moderate. Yeah, I'd say it's good enough. She said she smoked in it yesterday.
Oh.
But it's it's definitely there.
4.5 some million views and I don't get no money.
Is that what it's up to right now? Jeez.
Can I get the police department in trouble for like the harassment me and my child are getting?
I don't understand what you're asking.
Like I have threats in my inboxes. And
Okay,
Obviously, that's
okay. I can address this question because this falls under my wheelhouse here. You cannot sue the department for harassment because of public records being the body cam footage.
No, that would be tough.
Well, seeing as you can FOIA request it, and somebody did, such as the owner of Code Blue Cam,
Yeah.
and he put it up there. If people want to watch it and give him 4.5 million views on that video, that's their prerogative.
Yeah. No, there's obviously when you can go into any kind of court records to see what somebody said jail time, if they've had tickets, anything like that. What are you going to have, like a Megan's website, and they're going to sue the police department for being on the Megan's website? I'm on the Megan's website. I'm sorry. That's what my state used to call it. They had the sex offenders website for your community. I'm sorry. They could be different names, different states. So you say, well, I'm on the sex offenders website and my neighbors don't like me now. I'm going to sue the police department. Well, maybe you shouldn't diddle the little kid. It has nothing to do with the police department.
There you go. But I think if you didn't act the way you did and make a certain gesture, you probably wouldn't have gotten as many views.
No, I give her she had a lot of creativity with it. I'll give her that.
Definitely.
Right?
So like, why is this being able to be posted? Why is this cam?
That's up to the whatever the department. It's not the department that posted
Is that a little childish? Or no? Isn't that?
That's what they do. They subpoena videos and they do that. So we're not the ones that posted it. It's not up to us. If they request it, we got to give it to them.
It's one of you guys' YouTube channel, huh?
I'm sorry. What? It's one of us? No, that's not true either. So
We were trying to figure out who it was for a long time.
You have to come and meet me. I'll leave autographs.
We'll just pull them all out, and then we just won't search your information.
Well, if you guys want an autograph, you can go to Wisconsin.
Irving, all right, watch out.
Nicole, can you open the door for me? All right, so you can step out for me.
Dude, don't do this shit with my kid. I want my kid out of the car.
So,
this is so weird that you guys are doing this, and especially with my kid in the car, you guys got it coming out.
Why is it weird, Nicole?
Because
I can't do no certain hands.
Because I'm out of gas. Why not be a cop? Like, you guys say you help people and you're not out just to arrest people for things. But why not ask, like, what's up with the car problems? And then, by the way, you do have a suspended license. Why pick on
It's actually revoked.
Why do you need this many officers?
So, because we're gonna search your car because it smells like marijuana.
It smells like marijuana every time, and you guys don't search it half the time.
Well, I wasn't.
I'm calling shenanigans.
So I don't know.
Now, how old is your child?
Marijuana, we search it. That's just
Okay. Well, there was something of last time on the video. It shows that he says it smelled like alcohol and marijuana. And
well, he did search it, I think, and it's
barely. And then
I'm not certain.
What happened in the past is what happened in the past.
There's a female officer coming from the city, so we're gonna wait till she gets here to search you. Okay? Well, these deputies are staying with you. We're gonna search the car. Okay?
Dude, why don't you guys pull over meth heads or crackheads? Like that you
We
actually
do.
would find something. No, you don't.
We were arrested a couple
You guys
this
are
week.
so worried about being on my ass. Your mom literally gets harassed like a person that is literally.
Is this in Minnesota or somewhere like that?
Wisconsin.
There you go.
You gotta love the Midwest accent.
I don't have an OWI on my record.
It can be revoked for DOT action or non-compliance.
There you go.
A Department of Transportation.
Yeah, that's who actually revokes it and stuff. We don't suspend or
Well, I
revoke
can't
them.
go to jail. I have my child here. And
We don't-
I'm not going to jail.
Yeah, we don't usually take people to jail for operating while revoked.
So does Portage County usually do that then?
We usually just write a ticket.
This is so upsetting. Dude. My heart breaks every time this shit happens. Like this is why I will never call you guys if I ever actually need your help.
Well, I'm sure they're okay with that.
See, chivalry is not dead, folks.
For them doing this, and then mommy can't keep up with the tickets. I was on a payment plan. I was paying $50 every month for tickets. It was an unpaid speeding ticket, and your mom didn't have money, and I forgot about it. So then it grabbed up, and then while I was driving,
Is that her kid she's talking to or another?
driving when you have a child.
I think
You
it's.
have to go to work or take care of your grandparents.
I don't.
Did you try applying for like an occupational or anything? Because you can get an occupational even if you have a suspended or like revoked license.
Yeah, I thought I was for sure way over the limit.
I mean, you can get a hardship license,
I get literally
you know,
harassed.
to get to work.
She could drive you to and from work.
This is why I don't take you driving. I don't take you to drive.
There's people that just never take care of their business. They let things
It was
accumulate and
your fault
accumulate.
because
And
I tried to do right, and
Snowball.
I was on a payment plan, but they keep pulling you over, so you can't keep up. Then they give you another $250. If you look hard enough, you might find some stems on the floor if you look real hard.
We're not gonna
Don't
charge
give them
Stems.
evidence.
The only one that needs to be searched.
who still has stems?
Yeah.
If you're getting stems, you're getting some bad reefer,
I
lady.
smoked
Yeah.
once.
Once
Separating it, seizing the stems on a Rush album.
THC
Pens?
pens, yeah.
I don't like them.
No, okay, all right.
I would,
You guys,
I would prefer
Oh,
if she's gonna call it reefer, she should do it on an old school.
That is actually a nicotine.
Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon
Let's
album.
try those.
So when was the last time you smoked?
I smoked yesterday in my garage. I told you.
That was your last time?
Yes.
How come it smells that bad in my garage?
Because my garage is small and my car is in my garage. It's enclosed. I don't open up my garage. I don't want my neighbors to smell it. So you're really going to make me explain all this in front of my 15-year-old son, dude. He doesn't.
You want me to sit in the car while we talk?
I think it's all out on the table now. That's horrible, dude. You guys already did enough with that video. My kid is getting harassed at school. I'm getting harassed. I will never get a job.
I think if you would have done something in that video, you
and then
wouldn't. Your
literally
kid
let
would
me
be getting
go.
harassed.
And never found drugs, never found anything, and you guys are doing it again.
Well, that's all open records. We don't do anything about
All right.
as far as sharing
Right.
videos.
We've been trying to figure out who
Right.
requested
I'm gonna
it.
literally have you guys running around in circles for people because I know so many people. You guys are gonna be chasing motherfucking tails.
But Nicole, if somebody does an open records request, We have to release that.
Okay, I don't care really. Can we get on with this so I don't like my kid outside the car?
Yeah, they can go sit back in the car, but I got.
Go. He is scared.
I just want to know that was the last time you smoked weed. Was yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
All right, go ahead and take a seat back in your car.
Is there enough in there to get to the gas station? I don't know.
All right, I would have to ask, would the whole chasing your tails thing, would that be perceived as a possible threat or wasting your resources?
Nothing like that. I mean, no, nothing like that. In fact, if you're gonna have something where you actually have a threat, it would have to be pretty. It has to be pretty exact. And she doesn't really seem threatening. She's just somebody that can never get their life together. It's always somebody else's fault. She can't get ahead because she keeps getting additional tickets.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be a lot better off if she just dealt with the initial problem of getting her license reinstated. There's a process for that. Paying off her fine, waiting the certain amount of time. Do a ride share. They probably, public transportation in this country is woefully lacking. And I expect that it's really bad where she is from just looking at what's around her. But you just kind of have to suck it up and ride share. I'm guessing she doesn't have a normal 9-to-5 job that she has to drive to every day. Mm-hmm. In fact, she may not even have a job. Who knows? In which case, she really doesn't need to be driving. You just have to suck it up and find another way until you get the license reinstated. She doesn't have gas in her car. She's smoking weed. She's obviously it's during the day. She's not at work. There's a lot of signs here that she just is a general all around mess.
And it's sad, but maybe she just needs that. Maybe these public shamings could give her that wake up call.
I mean, like this guy here, what's his relationship to her?
I don't know if it's a friend or a boyfriend or whatever.
Okay, well, he doesn't have a license either. So this friendship isn't helping anything out. She needs to find a guy with a license. Her standards don't have to be very high. She needs to get back in the dating pool and just say, do you have a valid driver's license?
It doesn't take much, ladies.
Find out when release time is at the jail.
Hopefully, it sounds like there's someone there.
Okay, all right. Well, if we need to give you a ride over there, we can do that.
Yeah.
See, look at that. That's community ordered policing right there.
You get enough
Oh,
in
yeah.
there.
You want to ride to the gas station? We'll give you a ride to the gas station.
If not, I can give you a ride.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Even if it's straight like the road and shit here, they come through. I think there should be enough in here to get it up there.
Okay.
Especially just up the road.
Well, if you want to try to fire it up now, otherwise, I mean, I'm sure you guys want to get on your way, so I'll leave it up to you. I'm fine giving you a ride. Yep.
I can't believe they're letting him drive out.
I mean, I think they're trying hard to not make her life too much more difficult than it already is.
It's really nice to her.
There.
Okay, you're gonna be able to get to the gas station, you think? Okay. So you're gonna get some citations, okay, Nicole? One's for your revoked, so operator revoked, having no insurance, and then not wearing.
You realize if you guys just gave me a break on like the ticketing and like not pulling over, like turning a blind eye, literally sometimes I could catch up and I would have my license back.
Here's the deal, Nicole. Okay, if you just stop driving all in general and you get rides places, then you'd probably
Who's
get your
gonna give
license.
me rides?
I'm sure you have family members that have valid license.
Oh God. Oh God.
Well, if it was lacrosse, I would call into question.
All right, so all the citations, the 4 of them have non-mandatory court dates, March 27th. That's the same court date for all 4. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. Well, you're revoked, so you can't drive, so you're going to have to find a valid driver for me, okay? Do you have any questions for me? Okay.
If there were people that were generally kind of decent and had a license, I would tell them you're not allowed to drive.
Nicole was cited for operating while revoked, operating a motor vehicle without insurance, vehicle operator failure to wear a seatbelt, and operator failure to have
And again, I mean, he brought up a valid point, Bird Dog. Maybe she's needs to stop driving. Maybe she needs to meet somebody who can actually provide her driver's license.
It's just funny to see these people that their lives are such disasters. She doesn't have anybody in her life that's got a driver's license. Apparently nobody in her life is employed. They all just sit around smoking weed all day. These aren't the kind of decisions that get you on the path to success and getting your life.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I think we've seen enough craziness, I think we should go with a nice, wholesome police interaction video for to end tonight's stream on a positive note. Hey, Welsh. Thank you for stopping by, Welsh. I appreciate that. But you know, I'm tired of seeing the news and they're saying all this stuff about cops. You know, this cop done this cop done that. You know, we need to see more positive stuff. So, yeah, let's.
When I moved, because they turned me into a crackhead.
Are you still smoking crack?
Hell
This is
no.
from
Good. How'd you get off that stuff?
Just moving around. You know, all the times I committed crimes, like when I stabbed that guy, I was off my medication. You know, my main goal is to increase the ambulance payroll.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is from Columbus Police Body Cam. Please give them a like and a subscribe. I get a lot of great videos from them, especially for the wholesome stuff, like the two saving the injured raccoon. They actually found the injured raccoon. They put him in a box. One gave him half his lunch. They took him to a vet. Get the man fixed up. I love my trash pandas.
I've had a lot of Christmas dinners in these convenience stores.
What's up?
Hey, love. It's the baddest bitch in Columbus.
Is that right?
All right. Can you give me a curse ride in the back? Please.
A ride in the
I'm
back?
cold. Yeah, just
Where
in
do you
the
want
back.
to go?
Just in the
Don't
back.
touch me, please.
Oh, it doesn't look good.
No.
All right.
Where would you like to go?
Like West Haven. I mean, yeah, West Haven.
Where's West Haven?
Just
the road?
By the malls. Yeah, just the road.
Okay, yeah.
Please.
Let me get my coffee and I'll give you a ride.
Take your time.
It only takes a second. It's almost done.
I just like I gotta notice between burning my bridges and getting mad.
Mm-hmm.
You
Do
know?
you live alone up there, or do you live with
I just got
family?
my kid. Look, babe. Look. I just got my kids today.
Oh, good.
Yesterday.
Where were you staying before that?
West Haven. But I moved because they turned me into a crackhead.
Are you still smoking crack?
Hell no.
Good. How'd you get off that stuff?
Just moving around, getting away from the wrong people.
That always helps.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. There's a lot of the wrong people
No,
out here.
I mean like people who act like they care about you, but they want you to smoke.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's how a lot of people out here are. You have to ride in the back seat, okay?
That's fair. Man, I don't give a fuck. When it's cold, they can call me a snitch. You hear me?
It is cold.
Hey, no, we've
When
had some
it's
cold
You know, it's gonna
winters
be
up in
really
the
cold
north.
next couple days.
I got my keys though, babe.
That's good. You can stay inside.
God is good all the time. All the time, God is good.
Now, you haven't been drinking, have you?
Man,
Because I know you have an alcohol problem, too.
man, I'm sober enough, ain't I?
So we're not good enough for me.
Yeah.
Sober enough to be a
It
passenger.
used to be worse.
There you go.
There you
Hey, well,
go.
I've seen you worse.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
Yes.
Unbuckle here and buckle
I
in
know the
here.
procedure.
Yeah.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Hey,
What's
I'm
the
about to-
address?
Hey, I'm about to get a job up here.
That'd be
Third shift,
awesome.
third
Hopefully.
shift. They need me.
Hopefully they hire you.
They need me.
What's the address where we're going to
45.
Westport? Okay.
Whenever
you
I
don't see-
transport somebody, I would give dispatch the mileage, the starting mileage, and then the ending mileage. And they would clock the time. They couldn't claim I drove them off somewhere.
But again, you know, we need to
It's
see more
45
stuff like
what?
this being
Oh,
reported.
you saved me by the bell.
Which way do I go from here?
They make a right and then a left.
The left on this little side street?
Yeah. Baby, am I better than I used to be?
You seem alright to do.
But why do nobody else know that shit?
You are a little drunk, I can smell it.
But you know me, I get belligerent.
Sometimes you do. I've seen you face.
But anyways,
he
I'm
also
trying to tell these motherfuckers to hire me. But guess what, babe? They gonna hire me. They need me more than I need them. Yeah, I don't want Social Security no more. I want to make more money. You know, I'm not like the dumb person. I just got issues. I know. Make it right at the mosque. Anyways, I'm a good person. I just gotta stop being fucking belligerent.
Well, awareness.
Yeah, I take an injection once a month. Huh? Yeah, I love it. No, it does, but like, you know, all them times I committed crimes, I was right here, right here. You know, all them times I committed crimes, like when I stabbed that guy, I was off my medication. Makes sense? Go straight. Makes sense now?
It does, but even if you're on medication and you're smoking and drinking, it's gonna mess you up.
I know. I'm trying to go to rehab. That's when you come in. Man, I done call everybody, bro. Right here, baby. Right here.
I love the fact that she keeps calling him baby.
No, just stop right here. Thank you, love.
Look at that.
Can you buckle that into the front because it's gonna make an alarm?
All right, I got you.
Into the front because it's gonna make an alarm go off.
There's a guy I worked with who was kind of like a father figure to a bunch of hookers.
Okay.
All right. Home again.
Pass the message that I'm gonna get rich.
I will. I'll see you around.
Hey, I'll increase your payroll.
You'll increase my payroll?
Yeah.
I could use a pay raise.
No, you know my main
All right,
goal
Sorsha, we're
is
actually going to wind it, wrap it up
increase,
after this
the
one.
ambulance payroll.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That's my
firefighters
goal.
and ambulance drivers needed.
You know how many times they saved me?
I bet they have. I bet they have. All right, you take care.
And, you know, again, it's the best way to end a stream with some positivity.
Well, I can tell you, I know of a lot of cases I could tell you about. I just don't have videos to go with them of people getting involved and actually. And this is a very simple thing, just giving a ride. But I've seen officers do some pretty amazing things and really step up and try to help people out. Like I said, they just didn't come with videos because nobody was trying to film it and take credit for anything. It was just genuine seeing somebody that was down and out and actually trying to help them.
And, you know, again, that's the thing that doesn't get reported with a lot of the news stations these days. They want to sensationalize. They want to go for shock and all, but
yeah,
but I do want to say this to everybody for showing up tonight. This sums it up all the best for everyone.
No, I do. Yeah.
All my viewers, all my subscribers.
Oh man, I appreciate that. You know I do. Yeah.
I appreciate everybody who stopped by. Bird Dog, is there anything you would like to share with us? If you have any, because I know you have some videos on your channel. If there's anything you want to promote, please feel free.
So you went and looked at them. Well, if you go to the channel, it's called Bird Doggy 1. I spelled doggy Dogey 1. It's just mostly me doing gun reviews. Some are serious, and then I do shorts, which are me as a character. Please don't take them too seriously. I really do not drink and handle guns. So, just the record. So, it's like I said, it's just a caricature. But I'll just tell you, I named it that channel because we used to make fun of. Well, there's one officer in particular that comes to mind. He was actually a nice guy, but he always sounded like a little bit stressed when he'd show up on a call, like on the radio. You know, most of the officers try to sound really cool. Oh yeah, this is Alpha 3-1. I'm on scene or something like that. You try to sound super cool and use your handsome voice. Well, he always sounded a little bit excited. So we used to joke behind the scenes. Oh, yeah, this is Bird Dog 1. I'm coming in hot. We got a parking ticket. I'm coming in hot. So I was just kind of a joke. He's called Bird Doggy 1 to Bird Doggy 2. Come in.
It sounds like you had fun at work, and that's what matters.
Oh, I tell you what, the practical jokes, never ending. When you get a bunch of guys together in that common environment. We had women, of course, and they participated for anybody wanting to throw stones. I actually did work with some extremely competent and great female officers. I can say that honestly. But we just had a lot of fun, especially when we work in graveyard shift, because it's real police work. You know, daytime, it's grandma didn't wake up, so you've got the dead body calls and you've got the cold crime reports and all that kind of stuff during the day. But at nighttime, you're really chasing gang members, getting bad guys off the street. So you see a little more when it gets a little bit slower, the practical jokes happening, which are always kind of fun when you get in that common environment. So yeah, it was all in fun.
Well, with all of that being said, thank you guys for showing up again. Bird Dog, thank you for being here with us, and we hope to have you come back again and share more insight and more of the stories of your time as being a cop, because I'll be honest, I had a lot of fun hearing them.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, NCR. It was a great evening. I enjoyed being part of this, and I wish everybody a blessed evening.
All right, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.